Ed on Q2, the truth behind the meters.
My hope is just that they make it right moving forward, but then they also retroactively make it right for those individuals that have significantly overpaid.
Billings water audit hits another crucial step as meters are removed and sent for testing. We'll show you the latest in the city's months-long saga. Plus, a scathing report, Montana's infrastructure receiving less than adequate grades in basically every area. We'll take you inside the findings. And in Big Sandy, it's all about the beef.
You ate 2 cows, two different cows, our cow and Glenn's cow.
A small Montana school dishing up a meal, that's the talk of the town. The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Casey Conlon. The Billings water bill saga takes another turn today. Meters removed from homes and shipped out for testing. Higher than normal bills continue to frustrate residents as they continue to wait for answers in the ongoing audit. Tonight, our Isabel Spartz has the latest on an almost 6-month battle.
This was the first home Wednesday to have its water meter replaced as the old one gets sent out of state for testing. It's one of more than 3 dozen on the list in the latest step of the city's continued audit. The Allman family is just one of many Billings households seeing high utility bills.
It's been upwards of maybe like $300 or $400 a month, and some months higher than others.
They're hoping Wednesday morning would signal the beginning of some answers. The Allmans are the first to have their meter replaced by the city and sent out to be tested.
We removed the old meter and we put in a new meter, and then they send off the old meter to get tested. Make sure it's accurate.
The process took all of 5 minutes. Those meters will be sent to SL Circo, the audit firm hired by the city to be tested by another third party.
It's not a quick process, so we're not waiting for the test results to complete the data review. We're going to continue forward with the data review. If that points us in another direction, that may change the number of meter tests because of what we find.
This is just the latest step in the city's audit process. In mid-July, we reported that the city had changed to a new billing system, causing a delay. And after bills were rolled out finally in August, residents reported seeing abnormally high charges.
I need to know now because it's $40 a day for that much water.
Public Works maintained that everything was correct.
We still maintain that the meters are correct and the software is billing accurately.
After months of complaints, the city agreed in October to an audit. The firm has so far checked 30 random meters and are comparing bills from this year to last. In November, the city admitted to some errors. 40% of Cycle 2 bills were found to be incorrect, saying the software made too many estimations.
We estimate bills almost every month, but on the order of a handful, not 8,000.
The process is expected to be completed by January 31st. Residents like the Allmans say it can't come soon enough.
My hope is just that they make it right moving forward, but then they also retroactively make it right for those individuals that have significantly overpaid.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
A new report released this afternoon gives troubling low grades to Montana's aging infrastructure. The state didn't receive above a C+ in any category in the study released by the American Society of Civil Engineers, the first since 2018. The report evaluated 14 categories, everything from dams and drinking water to rail and roads, and broadband and bridges. None of the grades are that impressive, with bridges, roads, dams, and public parks all receiving a C-, while schools received a D. Remember, in 2023, MTN brought you a series of reports on the state of Montana's bridges, with 80 across the state deemed structurally deficient by the Federal Highway Administration, including one near Columbus. Wednesday's findings say the problem is only getting worse. Montana's broadband internet coverage received an incomplete grade, saying improvements have been made, but still ranks at the bottom nationally in overall access. Coming up at 5:30, we'll dive much deeper into the report, which you can read right now on KTVQ.com. Well, a City Council executive session regarding a Billings Police Department investigation will be open to the public next Monday. That special meeting called after 3 officers were placed on administrative leave for alleged misconduct during a May 2023 traffic stop on the city's north side. That case has now put more than 170 others under review, with dozens of those cases expected to be overturned. According to Yellowstone County Attorney Scott Twito, the officers involved are Matthew Beislein, Ian Busta, and Blaine Lane. A disciplinary report received by the Billings Gazette says all three have been disciplined multiple times over the past 4 years for violating department policy. The meeting is scheduled for 4:30 Monday evening at the Billings Library. It could take days or weeks to bring the suspect in the shooting death of the United Healthcare CEO back to New York to face a murder trial. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is fighting extradition from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested Monday. While the legal gymnastics unfold, CBS's Bradley Blackburn learns more about the suspect and his apparent anger at the health insurance industry.
Murder suspect Luigi Mangione is in custody at this state correctional institution in Pennsylvania. He's fighting extradition to New York to face trial in the execution of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. New York Governor Kathy Hochul will have to sign an extradition warrant to secure Mangione's return, which legal experts say is only a matter of time.
I think this will happen. There will be an extradition. What he's indicating is that he's going to fight at every step of the way.
Mangione's attorney says he hasn't seen anything proving his client's guilt.
I need to see evidence. We're entitled to see that, and we need to see that.
No fingerprints on the bullets at this time, but we did have one fingerprint on the cell phone that was recovered.
CBS News has also learned fingerprints found on a water bottle at the crime scene match Mangione's prints at his booking. Police say the 26-year-old suspect was arrested with a 3D printed gun, silencer, and a handwritten 3-page note, reading in part, "These parasites simply had it coming."
He certainly was trying to justify what he was doing. Of course, you cannot justify what he did.
Authorities believe a motive may be rooted in a debilitating back injury Mangione suffered. Legal experts say his defense appears to be taking shape.
I think the defense here is going to be prove that in the video of the killing, that is truly him.
Prosecutors say they intend to. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
We've been keeping an eye on Miles City with the Stockman Bank weather cam. You can still see some of the slick conditions out there, but the snowfall has wound down, at least for now. 14 degrees, so it's a chilly afternoon. And regionally, we've got temperatures as warm as the 40s from Billings to the south and to the west, but single digits and teens in the eastern plains. Still looking at some snow showers across areas into northeastern Montana. In fact, here's a look out towards Rock Springs the last few minutes. Back with your forecast in a few minutes from now.
Visit Big Sandy Population 600 and you won't find much in the way of fine dining or even fast food. But step inside the school cafeteria and you'll be dished up a meal that's the talk of the town.
We've got a little girl, she's, oh, this is my favorite. Just about every day. It's hilarious.
Big Sandy is perhaps the only school in Montana now serving up beef, born and raised less than 10 miles away from the cafeteria's front door.
Like I say, they've been from conception to consumption right in this area.
Shane Chavette founded Pioneer Producers, a group of now 7 ranchers helping supply beef to Big Sandy schools, a nonprofit born in the wake of tragedy.
They call it a partial arm amputation.
You see, in July of 2021, Shane almost lost his arm when a culvert flew through the air and hit him and his ATV during an intense storm. A team of paramedics rushed him to Great Falls, 80 miles away.
They saved my life. They gave me a chance to be a dad again. And the local ambulance got me to the emergency room and saved my arm. So, I mean, I feel like I owe the community an awful lot.
This labor of love has become Shane's way of paying back his community, one steak and one burger at a time.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps. It's nice to know that there are still people that are willing to do that and not want to always make a buck.
Leanna Heimbigner is the head cook at Big Sandy Schools, one of the many helping fulfill Shane's farm-to-table vision. $250,000 worth of meat has been served to Big Sandy students just these past 2 years.
You ate 2 cows. Two different cows. Our cow and Glenn's cow.
But getting that beef from farm to fork is more complicated than most realize.
At first, it's like, oh, I don't think this is going to take off.
By law, all meat served in schools must be processed at USDA-licensed plants. Not only are there not very many in Montana, processing can be pricey. Enter the producer partnership. the first nonprofit USDA certified meat processing facility in the entire country.
We're just so lucky to be able to live where we are and know the people that we know now.
Matt Pearson founded the Producer Partnership in Livingston back in 2020, an idea that was born during COVID to help out the local food bank.
A lot of the animals that we get are animals that really aren't sellable at a market. They don't get around as well, or they have a blemish or something.
The concept took off, with close to 20,000 pounds of meat donated to schools just this year.
The one common thread, though, is a lot of people work here because they want to be here, because they believe in what we're doing and the ability that we have to make those changes.
15 schools have now received meat through the Producer Partnership, all of it processed here, free of charge, and even stored in these freezers.
I have chicken sitting here.
Since schools like Big Sandy don't currently have the space to hold several beef.
We try to work with pretty much anybody that wants to donate an animal. We try to connect those dots.
Good.
Dots helping dreams like this one in Big Sandy become reality.
They have that pride of ownership. Now it's not just Montana beef that's going back into those schools. Now it is our beef going into our school.
You walk into the school and you walk out knowing that our local ranches fed the school today, and you saw those kids so happy.
And that, Shane says, is what the partnership is all about.
Yummy.
Montana ranchers connecting communities, one smile and one bite of beef.
I like meat a lot.
At a time.
There's nothing better than living in a small community because we take care of our own. And that's what we're doing with this beef program, taking care of our own.
In Big Sandy, Kagan Harsha, MTN News.
The merger between two giant grocery companies, Albertsons and Kroger, has now been called off. It's a situation that could have impacted many cities across Montana, including right here in Billings. So what does this no deal mean now? Scripps News' Joe St. George dives in.
It was going to be the biggest grocery store merger in American history. Kroger and Albertsons becoming one company. But after a federal judge blocked the merger earlier this week, the two have returned to being rivals, with questions now swirling about the future of grocery stores around the U.S. Kroger and Albertsons initially announced their intention to merge in 2022. Attorneys for the grocery giants argued since then that a merger was necessary for survival. But on Tuesday, a federal judge disagreed, writing that a lack of competition would hurt the overall grocery marketplace. The White House celebrated the decision, believing it will prevent an increase in prices. In a statement, the White House said the Biden administration is, quote, proud to stand up against big corporate mergers. Kroger and Albertsons have nearly 5,000 stores nationwide and employ over 700,000 Americans under names like King Soopers, Safeway, and more. And while there was some discussion that the two companies may try again to merge at a later date or wait until President-elect Trump takes office, on Wednesday, Albertsons announced their intention to pull out of the merger, with the CEO of the company saying, quote, we are deeply disappointed in the court's decisions. But Albertsons isn't just leaving the merger and expressing disappointment. They're now suing Kroger. In a press release, Albertsons claims that Kroger repeatedly ignored regulators' concerns, causing the merger with Albertsons to be blocked. Albertsons is seeking now billions of dollars in damages. Now the big question is, how does this all impact you, grocery prices, and perhaps your local grocery store? After all, attorneys for Albertsons and Kroger, when they were trying to merge, argued that merging was necessary to keep prices low and compete with companies like Walmart. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.